Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the 3X Value Growth Podcast. My name is Terry Sauls, coming to you as always from New Hampshire. One piece of New Hampshire trivia I have to share with you today is that New Hampshire adopted the first legal lottery in the 20th century in 1963. So it was the first lottery in the U.S. I'm joined today by writer, speaker, doer, Allan Langer. First, let me welcome Allan.
Thank you, Carrie. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you could be here. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you have a lot on your plate, and just that you showed up is really valuable to this podcast. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that people understand how much you're bringing to the table, let me share with them a little bit about your background. Allan Langer is an award-winning sales consultant, best-selling author, a sales coach and trainer, and a motivational speaker who has sold over $70 million worth of product in his 22-year sales career. His book, The 7 Secrets of Selling More by Selling Less, is a hit with nothing less than 5-star reviews on Amazon. We'll get to that in a bit. And his philosophy of helping people, not selling people, has been resonating throughout the selling world. Welcome again, Allan.
Thank you.
The topic for today, in 7 minutes, we're going to answer 7 questions on the topic of take your sales game to the next level by helping, not selling. I think that's really nice and really important for people to hear about. So, Allan, our 7 minutes starts now. Who's your ideal client?
So my ideal client is the sales rep who could be average, could be struggling, could be good, but they all want to increase their sales. They want to help their selling game. And they're also the sales rep. There's a lot of sales reps out there who feel like the sales robot. They don't want to feel like that. They want to feel more genuine. And the sales trainings that are out there don't allow them to do that.
And so therefore, when you're coming in here as a sales trainer or with your book, what is the problem that you're trying to solve?
The problem I'm trying to solve is that sales reps are trained to just make the sale. That's it. They're never trained to help a customer. They're trained to sell no matter what, to follow the techniques of objection handling and never taking no for an answer and all that stuff. I'm solving that problem where you're going to become the salesperson that actually feels good about what they do. And then the customer's actually going to like you because you're not trying to sell them no matter what.
And therefore, what are the typical symptoms that a sales rep knows that this is a bottleneck or a hurdle that they're facing? And what are the key words? What are they talking about that lets you know that they have this problem?
Well, the problem is really from the customer side. Nobody wants to meet with a salesperson, ever. I did an experiment at the beginning of my book where I asked 263 people every day one question. And the question was, do you like meeting with a salesperson? And 100% of them, all 263, said no. So that's a problem. And why is that? Why does that happen? Well, everybody has to buy something. And no one wants to meet with the person. If you go to a mattress showroom, you don't want the mattress guy to come over and talk to you, even though you need a mattress. It's such a conundrum. It's crazy. So that's the problem that needs to be solved, is how do you become the salesperson that people actually want to talk to?
There's a big difference between being sold to and having the choice to go in and buy. When you're talking about that mattress salesperson, yeah,
absolutely.
You want to go in and have control of your own buying decision instead of somebody else making some of those choices for you.
Right, and you don't want that. You just don't want to talk to that person because you feel like you're going to get a sales pitch. And what is he saying? And that's not a comfortable feeling.
So my fourth question that leads into, what are some of the common mistakes that you see salespeople making when they're trying to solve that problem in their situation?
So the problem they encounter is, okay, I'm only closing 30%. I'm only closing 28%. I want to close better. So they go out and they buy sales books and they buy CDs and they join programs and they listen to podcasts. The problem is most of them are all just there to teach you how to make the sale. None of them teach these reps how to help the customer first. If your main goal when you meet a client is to sell them, you're going to be a very mediocre salesperson for your entire career. You need to help that person first, and then you want the culmination of that help to be a sale at the end.
What I also just heard is there's a distinction between the helping is much more strategic, where the sales training that they've, or books that they've had in the past, is all very, very tactical. And
Yeah,
yes, you need those tactical pieces, but you're saying start on the strategic end of how can I help this person? Then the rest of it will just unfold. Would that be right?
that's 100% correct. If your mindset if your mindset is, I'm going to help you, I'm not here to sell you. If you're basically saying, I'm not here to sell you, yes, you tell yourself that before you go in. I'm here to help you. You'll actually be amazed at how many more sales you'll make because you don't have the quote unquote commission breath walking in. The customer realizes in a genuine way that you are there to help them, and we're going to figure out how to do that.
And what is one valuable free action that our audience members can take that would start them down the path of solving this problem?
Well, it is in my book. I talk about, and actually, it's really the first secret is changing your mindset, and you do that by making declarations before you see someone, or in the morning when you get up. You basically say, okay, I'm going to meet you, Kerry, for a sales appointment, and you need to buy a new copy machine. I'm going to walk in and say, oh God, I hope, I'm not going to walk in and say, I hope I sell her that copy machine. I'm going to say, I'm here to help her. I'm not here to sell her. I'm going to find out what her problems are, and I'm going to figure out a way to help her. And oh, by the way, maybe she'll buy a copy machine at the end of that. But it's never about you making that purchase. It's about you knowing that I'm there to help you. And if you change that mindset going into that prospect, again, your sales will increase exponentially.
So that's your mindset. But what about the fact that you still have a sales manager who expects you to hit a quota?
That's a great question. And when I tell clients that's a question I get asked all the time. Oh my God, my sales manager says I need to sell this by the end of the month. You have to trust the process. The old saying, definition of insanity is, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If your sales are lagging or you're not hitting your quotas, well, you got to do something. So you try this process, and if you trust the process, if you do what I say to do in my book and you follow it, and again, this is not rocket science. It's just some really nice basic things to change. Your sales will increase, and not only will your sales increase, but your customer ratings will increase because they're going to like you more. A lot of companies now, it's all about ratings, and salespeople have a dismal rating from customers, less than 50% satisfaction rate across the country. My satisfaction rating is 97% for my customers. So trust the process.
That's a great statistic to be able to do the comparison of without and with your model. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So my sixth question, just moving along, is what is one valuable free resource that you can direct people to that will further help them down this path, solving the problem?
Well, I'd love for everyone to get my book, and you can go to my website, and on my website, you get the first 2 chapters of my book absolutely free. So you can actually check it out and read it and see if you like it. And if you do, right at the end of that second chapter, there's a way to send you right to Amazon and you can buy the book. You can also do the ebook, and the audio book is coming out in about 10 days. So that'll be available as well.
Great.
And the website is my name. It's allanger.com. So it's www.al and then my last name Langer, Langer. So allanger.com.
Great. And my last question, just because I don't know all the right questions to ask everybody, what's one question I should have asked you that would give great value to our listeners? And then please share your answer.
I think the question would be, how do I, after I'm done with the book, how do I motivate myself to continue to do the strategies within the book? We've all bought self-help books, every one of us. And I think the number is 94% of people who buy self-help books and all of those programs never complete them. And why is that? It's a variety of reasons. So the question is, what can you do after the book is done to keep yourself motivated and to actually implement the 7 secrets? And there's a section at the end of my book on ways to do that. And there's an acronym I use. I won't get into it because we don't have time, but you just try to figure out a way to motivate yourself and live the 7 secrets on a daily basis. And don't just read the book and put it on the shelf when you're done.
Okay, you've got 30 seconds. You've tempted me too much. Fill me in on the acronym.
The acronym is called ACMA, A-C-M-A, and it stands for animate, which means get going, start, calibrate yourself, stop once a week and actually figure out if you're on the right track, if you're doing things that are heading in the right direction. Motivate, obviously how to figure out how to motivate yourself and what motivates you. And then adulate is the last one, and that means when you do something that you're proud of, reward yourself. Take yourself to dinner, buy yourself a bottle of wine. Don't just, pretend it's like, okay, that's just, part of my day. Actually reward yourself. And you feel really good about yourself when you do that.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much for your time today, Allan Langer at allanger.com. Thank you very much for this interview. Have a great day.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for checking out the 3X Value Growth Podcast. If you like what we're doing here, head over to iTunes and subscribe, leave us a review, or rate us. It's very much appreciated. And if you'd like to learn more about the 3X Value Growth model, go to www.3xvaluegrowth.com/model for the PDF.